Can a number be cursed? I mean, everyone knows about 666. It's the number of the beast, a cursed, unlucky number associated with evil and Satan. But what I'm talking about is a phone number. Let me explain. My name's Jack. I'm an 18-year-old guy, and I just graduated high school this summer. As a graduation present, my parents bought me a new phone. It's not the newest, flashiest model, but it gets the job done. Anyway, this isn't about the phone itself. It's about the phone number. I won't tell you what it is here, and you'll soon know why. Let's just say, I hope you never call me. The first week of using my phone, nothing unusual happened, but I soon realized that was because no one had actually called me. They had only texted me. I'm beginning to think there's a difference in how this thing works. The first phone call I received was from my best friend Ryan. It was a Saturday, and he had asked if I could come over and help him and his dad with putting new shingles on their roof. I said no problem and walked down to his house. When I got there, Ryan was on the ground while his dad was up on the roof, pushing a nail gun into the new shingles. Ryan's dad looked up, noticed me standing there, and gave a quick nod before getting back to work. I gave a small wave in return, and then asked Ryan what I could do to help. He said I could start by taking some of the shingles up the ladder. I grabbed a pile, which was a lot heavier than I had anticipated, and started making my way up the ladder to the roof. Once I was up there, I set the stack of shingles down and leaned over the side to look down below. Whoa, I thought to myself. We were really high up, higher than it looked from the ground. I leaned back and closed my eyes for a minute. That's when I heard something from the ground. It sounded like Ryan yelling. I couldn't make out what he was saying over the sound of the air compressor and the nail gun. The next door neighbor was mowing his lawn, and there was a stereo playing at full volume on the ground below, all adding quite significantly to the decibel level. "What?" I shouted. Ryan yelled something back, and then I felt my phone buzzing in my pocket. It was Ryan. I said, "Can you toss the pry bar down? It should be next to the top of the ladder." I hung up the phone and grabbed the heavy metal tool, once again inching my way over to the side of the roof. I checked to see that the coast was clear to throw the bar down, when I saw Ryan laying on the ground, clutching at his wrist and writhing in agony. I shouted and waved to his dad to get his attention. He quickly stopped what he was doing and looked at me with concern. I pointed to the ground and shouted that Ryan was hurt. We both scrambled down the ladder, and what I saw nearly made me faint from shock. Ryan was laying on the ground, screaming and crying, while his left hand was situated next to the circular saw on the workbench they had set up. It was covered in blood, and so was I. I looked down and saw that my white t-shirt had been saturated with tiny droplets of red. I wouldn't find out until later that night that Ryan's hand had slipped after he called me, and he ended up cutting it clean off before he could react. In doing so, he had severed his radial artery, which was now spraying blood like a fire hydrant. I called 911 as Ryan's dad wrapped his shirt around Ryan's wrist in an effort to stop the bleeding. At this point, the neighbor had stopped mowing and ran over when he saw what had happened. He, along with Ryan's dad and I, helped carry my friend to the backseat of his car while we waited for the paramedics. Now, I know that could just be a horrible coincidence caused by a terrible accident, and yes, Ryan did end up surviving, but still, I can't help but think that this damn phone number had something to do with it. Like just last weekend, I called and ordered a pizza, and when the delivery driver called me back to ask which house I was at, he ended up wrapping his car around a tree. It was on the news and everything. Or how about this? My grandmother called me to wish me a happy 4th of July, and the very next day she had a stroke. Look, I know I might just be crazy, and that these could all just be coincidences, but I have an idea, and I have to see if it works. I have to see if this phone number is truly cursed. So, if I survive, I'll be sure to keep everyone updated with what happens next. So stay safe, and in the meantime, Be careful who you call.